सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरु गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वर गुरुसाक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Okay, we'll start from the 12th chapter. Everybody ready? And now everybody will sing how you guys sing all the favorite singer songs in the car or in the when you listen to the songs, right? So everybody be that loud, even the online kids. Okay, you guys have everybody have 12th chapter open? You guys good? Okay, come on, let's sing. अर्जुनोवाच एवं सततयुक्ता ये भक्त्या सम्पर्युपासते ये चापक्षरव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमः। श्रीभगवानुवाच मय्यावेशमनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया पर्योपेतस् ते मे युक्ततमा मताः। ये त्वक्षरम् अनिर्देशम् अव्यक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्रं गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थम् अचलं ध्रुवं सन्नियम्येन्द्रियं ग्रामं सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः। क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तं पतचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखं देहवर्धिर्वाप्यते। ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परा अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते अहं समुद्धार्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसां मय्येवावमनादस्त्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवर्तिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः। अथ चित्तं समादातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततो मां युञ्जातुं धनञ्जय। अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि। अतएत्यद्यपि शक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्याग तथा कुरु यथात्मवान्। श्रेयो हि ज्ञानाभ्यासात् ज्ञानं ध्यानं विशिष्यते ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः त्यागस्थान्तरनिरन्तरः। अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रः करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समः सुखसुखसमी सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिर् यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यस्मानो द्विजते लोको लोकानो द्विजते च यः हर्षभयोद्वेगे मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः अनपेक्ष शुचिर्दक्ष उदासीनो गतव्यथः सर्वारम्भ परित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभ परित्यागी भक्ति मान्ये स मे प्रियः समशत्रु च मित्र च तथा मानापमानयो शीतोषण सुख दुःखेषु समसंग विवर्जितः तुल्य निद्रा स्तुतिर्मौनी संतुष्ट सेन केनचित् अनिकेतस्य
भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो
नरः ये तु सर्वामृतमिदं यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्धाना मत्परमा भक्तस्तेति मे प्रियः ओम तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुन संवादे भक्ति योग नाम 12 कृष्णार्पणमस्तु. Okay, let's do quick meditation. Everybody sit straight, not stiff but straight. Put your palms on your knees. And you know, I already explained why we do this, right? We are merging our ego into consciousness. So that's the sign. So we are using that sign and we are gonna try to meditate on the thought of Om, right? So everybody sing Om. And doesn't matter where you stop or where you start. You just continuously singing Om. As long as you can, stop your breathing, you can drag Om, and then when you breathe again, start a new Om with it. So start Om. Okay, good, right? So I hope everybody in your house can hear you guys, all three of you, when you are together. Did you sing that loud? Did you guys sing that loud that everybody came upstairs? Okay, good for you. Okay, so what chapter? 5. Yes, good job. So chapter 5. Let's see where we left off. Where we left off?
25.
25. We finished 25?
Yeah.
Okay. So we were on 25th shlok, but before we go, just a quick revision. So 24th was the shlok that where Bhagwan says, "He whose happiness is within, rejoices within, light is within, that yogi is always what established in Brahman and attain or merge in Brahman," right? So that was our 24th shlok. So in this, he talk about 3 things, right? We spoke about 3 things. What was it? Happiness should be within, right? Not depending on outside object, right? We explained that part. So it should have been within, like our own nature is always bliss. So it should be, we should not depend on our happiness on other, because that thing that gave you happiness today, if we depend on that, what's going to happen is that thing will give you what tomorrow? Sorrow tomorrow, right? So it's not that happiness should be dependent on outside. So Bhagavan is saying that happiness is inside you, right? That's what we need to look at it, not outside with object, sense object, right? Then the second one was rejoice is within. Yeah, right? The engagement that we have is within, right? It's not outside that we are looking for. So the relaxation, the recreation that we talk about, the anta aram, right? So in this, we don't have to engage out with the outside world so much and depending on outside world. Again, the terms are very similar, but it's actually saying that your pleasure and engagement that you are depending on outside world, we should not be depending on that, and it should be within. The engagement should be within us, right? Then Atma Jyoti, the light, the things that is illumined, the whole thing that is illumined by this light is within. So what it is? The consciousness that illumines everything, that is within. And we talk about that, the light that is in the room, where when the room is dark and we turn on the light, we can see everything, right? Do we need another light to show that light? We don't, right? So the ultimate light is the light that we turn on in the room, right? Same way, the light that is within us, the consciousness that illumines the whole entire world, right? Where we talk about which illumines whole entire room, one light, you don't need another light to show that light, right? The same way, the consciousness within us is the light that illumines the whole entire world for us, right? If this consciousness is not there, what's going to happen is, can we even use our sense organ to see anything or to think or to bring thoughts in it, to bring our emotions? There is nothing there, right? So the things that illumine our world, outside object, inside us, everything, it is consciousness, it is within us, right? It's not outside there that we have to look for it, right? The trees are there because the consciousness is within us, right? The plants are there, the outside objects are there because the consciousness is within us. So finding that happiness within us, that yogi, that person will merge into Brahman. And we talk about merging also last time, right? Merging is not that there are two people who are merging in each other, right? We find out a new word. What was that word that we wanted to use? Rejoining, right? We already know who we are, right? And what's happening is, when we not study these things, we get, what happens to us is that we are ignorant about this, about the right knowledge, right? We are ignorant about it. So as soon as we find all these within us, the knowledge is revealed to us. And when the knowledge is revealed to us, what's happened? That we are that yogi who are merged or rejoined, which I would also not say rejoin, but I don't know why I'm not sold to the word rejoin. because we are not joining anything. We are just we are just getting the knowledge of our own self. Like we are already there, we are already consciousness. By studying this, we are getting to know that that's what we are, right?
Realizing.
So realizing, the Brahman, that what our real nature is, right? So that's what in 24 verse was it. Then 25th verse was
Wait, wasn't it?
mhm.
No.
What? We already did 24th, right? So I will just do a small version of
We
it.
did 25th. No, I thought you were talking about 25th.
No, I was talking about the 24th. The 25th was sages whose sins are weighed away, doubts are being dispelled by knowledge, who have controlled their mind and who are devoted to welfare of others, all attain absorption in Brahman. So again, this is the same thing. So it has the 4 things that he talks about. A kind of stepwise process, right? What he says, the first thing is, when we do karma yoga, what happens? Our sins are dissolved, right? So he says sins are weighed away. So there is no sin when we do karma yoga. Any work we do, if we spiritualize that work, if we do it for God, then what happens? That action, the results of that action doesn't come on us, right? So the sins are not weighed away, right? We will not do wrong things, definitely, because we are doing this work for God, right? So first thing first, we will not do anything wrong, right? In any case, if there is anything that happened wrong in that work, then what happens? The sins of that thing is weighed away. Then the second step is we control our mind. First of all, we get the knowledge, right? So all the confusion of what we are is dispelled by the knowledge. We get the knowledge, so the ignorance is gone. Then we control the mind. So the people who are whose sins are weighed away, who has all the doubts are gone, right? So what did we do? Manana, right? We did Shravana, means we start studying the scriptures, right? Manana, all the doubts are gone away, all the doubts are gone, and then we have control of our mind and we devote to welfare of others, right? So it says the results of it, what happening. And then what happens is, if we get to do these 4 things, then what happens is we are enlightened, or we are it says nirvana. So we get the liberation. Now think about it. What he talks about, that we get liberation, and sarva bhuta hita rata, we were talking about that, right? Doing good welfare for others, right? That's the main important thing. That's what the peace is, where we find the peace. Now I talk about one thing, Jesus Christ, one of the devotee asked him that, how can I get peace, right? So in Bible also it's written that there are the 4 things that you should be doing, which is exactly opposite what we do now, right? The first thing was always seek for less than more. And what do?
We seek for
more and more, right? I need more of this. This is not enough, right? So he say always seek to have less than more, right? That's the first thing. Then he says always seek to be last than first. What is that, right? I would say, why are you not coming first? You should be coming first, right? We do opposite here, but we should be last then first. What it is saying is in reference to, right, that if you are accumulating or gaining something, gain it last, let other people gain it, and then you gain it. It's not about you should come last in your class and fail the class. It's not about that, right? So I think you probably understand what it means, right? Don't take it the otherwise. So it says always seek to be last than first. The third thing is always seek to be to do what will of others. So always do the things that is on will of others. Don't, if you are in confusion whether should I think what I should do or what the other person wants to do. So then it has to be that others will are more important than our own will. You got that point, right? But then again, there is very gray area, so make sure if other people will is to do wrong thing, then you don't encourage that. You understand what we are talking about here, right? So always seek to do the will of others. And then the fourth one was in all try to see and accept the will of God. So anything that comes to you and any situation, any things that is given to you, think that as will of God, right? So in all try to see and accept the will of God. So think about this, like this was this fourth step to get peace, right? I know that we do everything opposite to it, right? We want more. We actually want to be first in everything. We want to seek our will. Why are you not listening to me? This is what I want. Do according to me, right? That's what we always say. Yeah, you are not doing the things according to my wish. I wish to do this, right? Don't you tell your parents this? I want this, and you're not doing this for me, right? So we always try to get our wish fulfilled rather than thinking about what the other's will is, right? Here it's opposite. Then also he said that accept the will of God in everything that you receive, right? If you are receiving sadness or some unfortunate thing is happening with you, then that is also a will of God, right? And if you're getting too many good things, that is also will of God. So make sure that you understand that not only good things, you say, oh, good things is my, I did so good, that's why I got 100 in my grades, right? That's not it. But if you don't study and you get 0, then it's on you. But if you study and get 0, then there is other uncontrollable things are in there, right? If say if it is too much snow fall down today and schools are open tomorrow and you have a test and you cannot reach school because an uncircumstance situation on the road, then and you get 0 at that time, what happens? It was not in your control, right? So then you are okay. But if you don't study, then so make sure you guys don't take all my studies as what the words goes. You make sure that you imply the meaning of it, what I'm trying to say, right? So that was the way peace should be. So when we talk about peace here, that's the biggest, ultimate goal is not always happiness. If you will look at it, it will be ultimate goal will be peace, not happiness. Happiness will lead to peace, right? So happiness is the byproduct of peace. You need peace, happiness automatically joins it, right? Okay, so let's go to shlok number 26. Anybody volunteer here? Krishu, you want to do 26th?
Sure.
Okay, how about you do 27th?
Okay.
Let's, Sean, you want to do 26th? Come on, pull it out. Okay, everybody has 27th open, chapter 5th, 27th shlok. Okay.
Kama Krodha Vimuktanam
Kama Krodha Vimuktatma
Yati Nam Yata Chetasam
Yati Nam Yata Chetasam
Abhito Brahma Nirvanam
Abhito Brahma Nirvanam
Vartate Viditatmanam
Vartante Viditatmanam. All together. Kama Krodha Vimuktatma Yatinam Yatta Chetasam Abhito Brahma
Nirvanam Vartate
Viditatmanam. Okay. So this one is sage who are free from passion and anger, who have controlled their mind. You guys want to write it down? So the sage who are free from passion and anger, who have controlled their mind, who have realized their self, attain absorption in Brahman here and thereafter. So now the same thing, but you know, in slok number 23rd, yeah, sure. Sage who are free from passion and anger, who have controlled their mind, who have realized their self, attain absorption in Brahman here and thereafter. No anger and passion, worldly, okay? You can have passion for God, you can have passion for enlightenment, but this passion, we are only talking about the worldly passion, right? So, control of mind, and then self-realization. Self-realization that attain Brahman. Here and thereafter. Okay. Now here he says, do you remember talking about anger and passion few sloks before? Do you remember we talked about it? What was it? Just few sloks ago we talked about anger and passion. I think last class or before that class. We talked about anger and passion. Slok number 23. Look at 23. What did we say there? 23, what did we say? Anybody there? Yes. Avi?
We said that the one who is able to withstand the urge that arises from anger and desire is a happy man.
Yes, there you go. Okay. So there we talk about who can withstand the wave of anger and desire. Like, you know, the wave of anger and desire are coming inside you. You can withstand it. Now, there is a one stage forward. Now, what is the one stage forward? Now, the waves don't even come. You see the difference? There is in yogi, the waves are coming, right? The anger and the desire waves come, and then they are withstanding that, right? Here is the sannyasi, the sage, in which the anger and passion don't even come. The waves don't even come. So that's the step, another step, right? Right now, the yogi is trying to control the desire and anger, right? Withstanding it. It's coming, but he is withstanding it. But in this sannyasi, one step forward, what's happening is there is no even waves of desire and anger coming, right? So it is one step forward from yogi to sannyasi, what we are talking here in slok number 26. So the control of mind was there too, right? So here there is no anger and no passion coming, then control of mind, and then self-realization. So if you see, look at that, karma yoga, the meditation, control of mind, everything we are doing, that, you know, so what it is comes, like, you know, the dhyan yoga in that, and then self-realization is studying about studying about self and knowing self, so that is Gyan Yoga. So all these 3 yogas he is writing. So this person is doing all 3 yogas, and then what happens is that he gets enlightened, right? So now he is talking about, this is the person who is Jivan Mukta, who has Nirvana. And Jivan Mukta is here and thereafter. Here means when you are in this body, right? When you are in this body also, you will get enlightenment. And when you go away from, when the body falls off and whatever continues with this consciousness, you still stay merge, or you still say realizing the Brahman inside you, and that's how you are your continue to keep going, right? So not just here, not just in this life, but going forward also, after this body drops off, it stays, it continues that, right? So that's what he was explaining. Now let's say the same thing if you think about an enlightened person, right? So for enlightened person, does it matter, like, oh, if does it matter, the enlightened word itself, does it mean anything to enlightened person? No, right? Why?
It's just a word.
It's just a word, because if he is already enlightened, does this word does even exist in his dictionary? No, right? Because he is this whole Brahman, he already have the knowledge of Brahman, he is himself Brahman. Well, if you look at all these yogis, all these big, the saints who we think are already enlightened, they never say it by their own self, or they will never say that I am enlightened. Nobody says that. Why? Because it doesn't mean anything to them, right? What they say is they have self-realized, what, they are Brahman, right? But they never say that I am enlightened, because that word doesn't make any sense for us. For us, that's the goal. But when you reach the goal, the word disappears. There is no enlightenment for the person who reached there, right? Nisargadatta yogi, he was, he was the one who was little bit, was always gave the answer. He was a little rough in giving answers, right? So one time a reporter said, oh, I know you are the knower of Brahman. You are the knower of Brahman. And he said, no, when did I say I am knower of Brahman? I am never knower of Brahman. You are insulting me by saying that. And then the reporter got really, what happened? Like, he got upset. So he's like, what happened to this yogi? Why is he upset? And he said, I think you are the knower of Brahman. And he said, no, you are insulting me by saying that. I'm not the knower of Brahman. I am Brahman. Right? So for enlightened people, it's not that enlightenment a word for them. It's that there is no word. That's what I was giving you the example. So Nisargadatta says, I'm not knower of Brahman. I am Brahman. Right? So that's what happens when you get absorption in Brahman. So that was our shlok number 26. Right? Okay. Let's move on to shlok number 27th. And 27th and 28th, we're going to do it together, because they both are together. And what's going to happen is, because they both have the meaning that goes into each other, so we will read it together, and I will give the the commentary also together with it. You guys ready for 27 and 28? So Krish, do 27 first, and then we will repeat the 27th first, and then do 28th, and then we will repeat 28th.
Okay. Sparshan krutva bahirbayam.
Sparshan krutva
Bahirbayan. Can you guys listen? Okay.
Should I say again?
Yeah.
Sparshan krutva bahirbayam.
Sparshan krutva bahirbayam.
Chakshuschaivantare bhruvo.
Chakshushtevantare bhruvo.
Pranapano shamo krutva
Pranapano samo krutva
Nasabyantaracharino
Nasabyantaracharino. All together, 27th. Sparshan krutva bahirbhayam Chakshushrevantare bhruvo Pranapano samo krutva Nasabyantaracharino. Next one. Together.
Yatendriya mano buddhir
Yatendriyo mano buddhir
Munir moksha parayana
Munir moksha parayana
Vigateksha bhaya krodho
Vigateksha bhaya krodho
Ya sada mukta eva sa
Ya sada mukta eva sa. All together. Yatendriya mano buddhir Munir moksha parayana Vigateksha bhaya krodho Ya sada mukta eva sa. Okay. So what we are studying this 27th and 28th, it's about meditation, right? So it's going to be meditation, but all the detailed explanation of these two slokas is the entire 6th chapter. So entire 6th chapter is only detailed these two slokas. So we will read in very, very detail in next chapter of meditation. What Krishna Bhagavan teaches meditation in next chapter. So in this one, this slok means shutting down out external sense objects, fixing the gaze between your eyebrows, controlling the outgoing and incoming breath that moves through the nostril. That's the meaning of the 27th slok. So what he is saying, stalling out external senses. You need a pen? So verse 27th is shutting out external sense objects, right? So we are closing our eyes. In meditation, we try not to hear or do it at silent place, right? So closing our eyes, not much smell also, we don't use much of the sense organ while we are doing meditation, right? So for that, we have to do something like, so shutting the eyes is not looking at it, so not using your vision, then trying to not listen to anything, trying to not touch anything, trying to not use all these things. So we are shutting down the external world right here. Then fixing the gauge between the eyebrows. So fixing the gauge between here. Now we will learn more about this in next chapter, but it's just saying that fixing the gauge between the two eyebrows right here. You're fixing your focus here. Controlling the outgoing and incoming breathing. So then again, in meditation, we do use of lot of breathing, controlling the breathing or, regulating the breathing. So that gives you a peace of mind, and that gives, you are concentrating, you can concentrate more. So controlling the outgoing and incoming breath that moves through the nostril, right? So that's the 27th slok. Then 28th slok, continuing of that, what he is saying is having the sense, mind and intellect controlled. So all the sense organ, mind and intellect we control in meditation, free from desire, fear, anger. So here what we are doing, like first we shut down the outside world, we shut down everything from outside world. In meditation, while we are sitting, we are regulating our breathing to make peace, right, to bring peace in ourselves, and then gazing our focus here. But then when we shut down the outside world, what we are doing is the senses, mind and intellect, everything is under control, right? Free from desire, fear, anger. So we are not thinking about anything at that time. We are not thinking, we are not having desire, we are not having any fear, and we are not doing any anger. If you are doing a meditation and you are upset at somebody, I can 100% tell you that there is no focus going on. We are only thinking about that anger that we have it, right? So that's what it is. Sage who have liberated as his highest goal, has liberation as his highest goal, is indeed free. So what he's saying, the person who does all these things, right? That sage, the person who is doing meditation, if his highest goal is liberation, then what happens is this person indeed get freedom, right? So the ultimately, we will discuss a lot more in chapter 6, but here he is just giving a little bit a trailer what meditation can do, right? Focusing on certain things. But here is one more thing you guys have to think about it, that he's saying that if a person does all the meditation, this thing, right, they might get peace. Some people whose ultimate goal is not liberation might get something else what they want. They might need only peace, or they might need, hey, I need a calmness, or I need to concentrate my mind so I can concentrate on my studies, or I can concentrate on my game, or I can concentrate on something. If they do the meditation for them, they will get that what they are doing for. But then you cannot think about them getting freedom or getting liberation, right? So if your purpose, the ultimate purpose is the liberation, is the highest goal is, that you want to do self-realization or God realization, then you have to have that goal in the mind when you are doing this meditation. Then only you can be free or you get liberation, right? So that's the, we have, this is advanced spiritual practice, right? We start with which? We start with which yoga? When we start the spiritual practice, what we start with? Karma yoga, right? Karma yoga. So then after we finish the karma yoga, what happens? Then we go to the next level, which is Dhyan yoga. Dhyan or Gyan, everything can come together. But until karma yoga is not done, the purification of mind is not done, then what?
Technically, the first one's bhakti.
The faith has to be there, the devotion has to be there, the foundation of devotion has to be there. Then only you can go up the ladder with karma yoga and Gyan yoga and Dhyan yoga, right? So that was 27th and 28th. In 29th, that's the last shloka of this chapter, where he talks about the results after you do these. What is the result, right? So let's read the 29th shloka and then complete this chapter. Who wants to finish this chapter by singing the 29th shloka? Anybody here? Somebody has to volunteer. I don't want a Voltol to somebody.
Risha can sing it. Yeah, Risha got it. Risha.
Who wants to do it? You want to do it?
Risha. Yeah. Risha. It's the last one.
I can't do this.
It's fine, give it. Okay. See us, Zia.
Okay, come on, let's try it.
It's hard.
That's okay. That's okay. Even if it is hard, that's okay, Raja. We will. It will come through.
Okay. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam.
Right. Bhoktaram yagna tapasam
Sarvaloka maheswaram.
Sarvaloka maheshwaram
Surdam sarvabhutanam.
Suridam sarvabhutanam
Natva mam santim ujjati.
Good, yeah. Jnatva mam shanti mruchyati. Okay, all together. Bhoktaram yagna tapasa Sarvaloka maheshwaram Suridam sarvabhutanam Jnatva mam shanti mruchyati. Okay, so here what he's saying, knowing me, the enjoyer of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all worlds, the friend of all being, he attains peace. A big thing. What is the result of doing everything? This is the result. What is the result? Okay, let's see the result. So now he's saying knowing me. Knowing me. Me, who me is here? Who is me here? God. Knowing me as, first is the enjoyer of all sacrifice and austerity. Enjoyer of all sacrifice and austerity. Okay. So what does this mean? Enjoyer of all sacrifice and austerity. You guys remember here it says yagya tapasa, right? Yagya means all the sacrifice, right? The fire yagya. We talk about 12 different yagyas in 12th chapter, in 4th chapter. You remember? Giving is yagya. You know, one that just putting the ahuti or the food in the fire is yagya, right? You guys remember 12 kind of different yagya. Giving donation is yagya, right? So those all yagya. So yagya is sacrifice, right? So the enjoyer of all sacrifice and austerity, the worship that we do, the yagya that we do, all this, the knower of me means knowing me as enjoyer of all sacrifice. So the Saguna Bhagwan, right? Saguna means the Bhagwan, the God that we pray to, worship to, right? All these, in your house you have, you know, pictures of God, you have, you know, the statues of God, right? When we worship them, right? We worship, we sing some sloks, or we, you know, sing some good, you know, the bhajans, all these things that we do puja to God, that's the austerity. And we do, when we do the yagya, that's the sacrifice, right? So the knowing me, now, you know, for Arjun, Krishna Bhagwan is what? A friend, right? Or a charioteer, right? So not knowing me as a friend or a charioteer, right? God is saying not like that, not knowing me as I am the, you know, God, I am the charioteer of you, I am your friend. No, what it is, knowing me as the enjoyer of all the sacrifice and austerity, knowing me as the supreme Lord, the creator of the, like in most all the religions, the universe is created by a Lord, right? So creator, you know, protector, that person, what you think, knowing me as that. So creator of universe. Right? So knowing me as a creator of universe, right? Or knowing me as the friend of all beings. Knowing me as a friend of all beings. Or doing welfare. Right? And then that he who knows me like this, this and this, that attains peace. That person attains peace who know me like this, this and this, right? When we talk about this, this and this, what happens is, so it covers everything here. The Bhakti Yoga, like knowing me as Bhakti, knowing me as, again, this is like, you know, Saguna Brahman, and here also he mentioned the Saguna Brahman. But to know this, you need to know that, you need to know Gyan, right? You need to study the scriptures to know all these characters of him. And then we made a Bhagwan. Now here is one thing that we always, in Hinduism, when we study that, we always question, right? What is the difference between Saguna and Nirguna Bhagwan, right? We talk about there is no form of God, right? God is different. We cannot give him a form. And then we have another way that we give form to God, right? We have Nirguna Bhagwan also, we have Saguna Bhagwan. So sometimes question comes up that which one is which, right? The answer to is this, they both are the same. How they are the same, right? The same is like, if you are devotional, if you are going as a bhakti yoga, then you need a form to do bhakti to somebody, right? And to give that form is the best form is give the human form. So if you look at it, we have all the gods in a human form, right? Even if Ganpati we put it elephant face, but he is still in human form, right? So relatedness, to bring the relatedness with us, we have to give them a human form, right? So Saguna Bhagwan is for a devotee who is bhakti yoga, who can picture God in front of him and do the bhakti to somebody, right? Nirguna Bhagwan is to who knows all the knowledge. He get to know that Brahman is there and everybody is Brahman. There is no other than Brahman. Then what happens is that person will have Nirguna Bhagwan, right? So it depends on what yoga you want to use. That's what the Bhagwan is. But Nirguna Bhagwan and Saguna Bhagwan are not different to each other. They are exactly the same. It's just what you want to take it and how you want to progress to it, right? So that's the one. So knowing me as these things, that person gets the peace. Now, to know, first you guys have to make sure that we understand that we have to do without karma yoga, purity of mind cannot come. So we have to start from purity of mind, which is, in every case it says that you need purity of mind. And when you get purity of mind, then your mind is ready to do what? Meditation, ready to retain the knowledge, ready to sustain the knowledge in yourself. That's the way you can get to the highest purpose, right? Highest point, right? Okay. What are we saying about the time? I wanted to quickly do 5 minutes only. I wanted to give the revision of the whole chapter.
You should do it. We should do a test or something.
Revision, but I want to do the revision.
For revision.
You guys will do the revision by yourself and I take the test next week?
Yeah.
Okay. But let me, 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
I want to, first of all, yes, Raja. You have a question?
So wait, what did you say?
I wanted to do, yes. Go ahead.
We can do the revision next class, so Avi doesn't miss Jeopardy because she's not gonna be here next class.
Oh, you will not be there next class? Oh, okay. How about I do the revision next class? Right, as what Sia suggested. Yeah, okay. But let me give you one quick pointer that comes in my mind, and you know how I forget things. So let me tell you that one thing before we close the class. So when we talk about Gita, usually Gita, everybody sees as divided into 3 parts. I did mention that before too, but I wanted to mention this today. So what are the 3 parts of Gita? Anybody remembers? No, write it down, this thing, because I'm going to ask that in. What are the 3 parts of that? Tell me.
So the first part?
Uh-huh.
You have no idea, bro.
Yeah, I know. You don't know because I said that long time ago.
If you tell me the first part, I'll get the next 2 parts.
Okay. It is related to that thou art. Tattvamasi. Okay. Let me tell you what, if you guys don't remember. 3 part is, 1 is chapter number 1 to 6. Then 7 to 12. 6 chapters. All the 6 chapters. 18 chapters. So 1 to 6 is divided into 1 part. Then 7 to 12 is divided, 7 to 13, sorry. 13 हुआ ना? And then 14 to, no.
7 to 12.
12.
And then 13 to 18.
And 13 to 18.
That's 6.
13 to 18.
I don't have any space on it.
Get a new book.
No.
It's
I've
Go to the
turned.
next
I've
page.
turned.
Come on.
So there are, it's divided into three. Now you know what I wanted to make sure that you understand. Gita is not a book for like, you know, just to get the knowledge and get the idea what it is, and you know, oh, I will become a really good student, or I will earn lot of money, or I will be smart enough to do business, or I will. It's not about that, right? Gita is Moksha Shastra, as I always say, and Yoga Shastra. Like, you know, there are yogas explained, and you have to practice those yogas. It is takes you to liberation, right? So the division of from 1 to 6, 7 to 12, and 3 to 18 is depending on Tattvamasi. You know, there is a Tat. I have to write that. Tattvamasi, right? So these are the three letters. That is that, thou art. That thou art. Tattvam asi, right? So this is, if you want to know the whole entire spirituality in 3 words, this is the 3 words. The whole entire spirituality from top to bottom. Now what does this mean? Is that thou art. You are that, right? That's what it says. You are already that. Now what is that and what is thou? That means we are talking about who? The God, right? Or Brahman. We are saying that, right? Thou, you, they are the same, right? So that's the meaning of it. So from chapter 1 to 6, he is talking about you. What are you, right? So we are talking about thou, right? So 1 to 6 chapter is about you, yourself, right? We talk about chapter 2, Brahman. We talk about like what you are. So we talk about ourselves, right? You are this Brahman. We talk about from 1 to 6. So one more chapter remaining for us to get to know yourself, right? Now it doesn't matter if you think about it. You can say, oh, auntie, there was devotion also in it. There was karma yoga also in it. There was about God also. There is everything in it, but the emphasis is about you, right? Then 7 to 12, when we come, it will be about, can somebody guess? That. So it will be about God, right? And then, so it is that. And then 13 to 18 is gonna be what? Mean?
Same.
Yeah, same, or a relation between God and between God and that and thou. So that's how Gita is divided into 3 sections, right? Now you will remember. You just have to remember that thou art when you think about Gita, right? So first explains about you. Second explains about God. So we're gonna do the 6th chapter again. The meditation is about you. 7 to 12 will be that. We're gonna talk about devotion and everything. Everything has everything. But what's gonna happen is it is emphasized on God. And then 13 to 18 will be more about relationship between you and that. Right? What were you saying, Krishna? Yeah. Alia, you had a question, Raja?
I was just asking what's 13 to 18.
13 to 18 is relationship between that and thou. So identity of that and thou is explained between 13 and 18, right? So that's how the Gita is divided into 3 parts. Now you can understand, right? So now, so far, what did we study? We study about our absolute nature, right? Our nature, our self, what we are, right? Then 7 to 12, we will talk about what God is. And then 13 to 18, we will talk about the identity of both, right? Okay. Is it time? Let's close it, guys. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamshachanuramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Krishnarpanastu. Okay.